I need y'all to go to page 280. Page 280. Page 280. Page 280. Everybody, let's go. Page 280. We're going to talk about functions, whether we can tell if it's a function or not from a mapping diagram, points, tables, and graphs. Okay, so we kind of talked about this, and well, I don't know, were y'all in here Friday for a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. So when we're talking about functions, okay, a function, every x value only goes to one y value. Every x value goes to one y value. So an x value can't go to more than one y value. All right? So you'll start to see that when we go through these examples and stuff like that. Zoom in some, zoom in some. All right? Okay, so here we go. Determine whether each relation is a function. So this is a mapping diagram. Okay? So we got a mapping diagram, and then let me zoom in some for y'all. There. So these are my x values. The domains is another name for the x values. The range is another name for the y values. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at each x value and I'm making sure that it only goes to one y value. The arrows tell me how many values it goes to. So this 3 goes with the 0. This 5 goes with the -2, and then this 8 goes with the 6. So out of these x values that I have here, do they only go to one y value? Yes. Yeah. See? These arrows don't go like the 3, it only goes to 0. It doesn't go to 0, it doesn't go to 6. So that means that it is a function. So here we're going to write, yes, each x value has one y value.
So you should be writing that down.
Each x value has one y value. So that is, it is a function. Okay, it is a function. Simple, right? Pretty easy. Like, how easy is this to determine if it's a function or not a function? Pretty simple, right? Okay. Does everybody have that? Can I move on? We're good? All right. Okay, so now we're going to look at number 2 where it has the points. Okay, has the points. 2 and 3 actually have points. Okay, so again, same thing. Even though this is not a mapping diagram, I'm still going to look at the x values. On these coordinate points, in these parentheses, which one's the x value? The first number or the number after the comma? The first number, right? Good. So this is my x value. That's my x value, x value, x value. Here, here. Y'all can do this in y'all's book.
I remember saying in my, you know Miss Buck?
Uh-huh.
She said X before Y, Miss Buck's gonna cry.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good.
She's gonna be happy that you remembered that.
I remember.
Okay, so look, each x value. How many zeros do I have here? 2. How many ones do I have here?
2.
So like, I have 2 x values that repeat. Okay? So would this be a function or not a function? Is it kind of hard to look like here? Okay, so anytime that I have any x values that repeat, it's not going to be a function. So this is no. The x values repeat. No, the x values repeat. So if that kind of confuses you, then let's do this. Let's make it into a mapping diagram, kind of like what we did on number 1, right? I'm going to write 0 and -4. 0, -4. 0 and 4. Now look, I already have a 0, so I don't have to write 0 again. Okay? So now I just write a 4 here. 1, -5. So 1, -5. And then 1, +5. I already have the 1, so I don't have to write it again. I just have to write the 5 here. So now if I make my arrows from this, right? 0, -4. 0, +4. Look, what happens? How many arrows are coming out of that 0? 2, right? There we go. 1, -5. And then 1, +5. So see, that's just like what we talked about up there. Okay? It's not a function because these x values go to 2 different y values. It doesn't have only one. It only has to have one. Right? It only have one. So look at number 3. If you don't have to do this, if you don't want to do this, then just look at the x's. Oh, look, there's some that repeat. Okay, I can't have any repeating. They all have to be different. So number 3, I'm circling the x values. Is it a function or not a function?
Function.
Right. Why? Why is it a function? Because they're different, right? Yeah, they're different. That's the easy way to say it. It's a function because each x value has a different y value. Right? So yes, each x value has a different y value. Each x value has a different y value. Yeah, they're different x's, right? Yeah. If you wanted to make another one like something like that, you can. Okay. It would be the same thing. There's many different ways you can tell if it's a function or not a function. All right.
Those are the ordered pairs.
Yeah, these are ordered pairs, right? From points. We good so far? Yeah. All right. Jeremiah, you good? Okay. All right. Let's move up. Now we're gonna look at some tables. We're gonna look at a table here. Table kind of looks like a mapping diagram. Okay. It kind of looks like a mapping diagram. The only difference is like every single, like all my x's are here, all my y's are there. If I had another x that was the same, it would still be here too. Okay, this one doesn't. So same thing on my tables. All I'm looking at is my x values. Tables are probably the easiest. Are all my x values different?
Yes.
Yeah, none of them repeat. So is this a function?
Yes.
Good. Yes. All x values have one y value, just like we wrote on number 1. Have one y value. Just like on number 1. Okay. All right, and then the last thing we're gonna look at, so we looked at mapping diagrams, we looked at coordinates, ordered pairs, we looked at a table, and now let's look at a graph. Okay, so when I look at a graph, it's like I'm looking at all these points here. This one, this one. Okay, so there can only be one x value, like on these points like that. That's all these x values have to be different. So like this x value is -3, 1. You see that? This x value is 0, -3. This one is 0, 2. Uh-oh, what do we see right here? What do y'all notice with those 2 points? Huh? Zeros, right? They're the same, right? So these are the same. Look here. I have the same points there also. They're on the x value. So when I'm looking at a graph, all these lines that go down, there can only be one point on that line. There's only one point on this line, but look at this line right here. How many points are on that one? How many points are on this one? Yeah, there's only one here and one there, but there's two x values that have the same point on it. Okay, so this is not a function. All right, so no. X values repeat.
Good. That looks very good.
So that's what we're doing. So order pairs, mapping diagram, table, and then now a graph. All right. So I think we have some independent practice for y'all. We good? Does anybody still need this up here? All right. Okay. So let's see.